Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Daybreak. We haven't seen you guys since last year.
We hope your winter break was full of rest and relaxation, but we are so excited to be back in the new semester.
From everyone's favorite celebrity couple tying the knot to Pittsburgh getting its own Walk of Fame, we have quite the show for you.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Pittsburgh. A new semester of Daybreak starts right now.
Let's start off with the weather. It's been cold and snowy for the past few days, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. Today is looking partly cloudy with a 65% chance of snow. High is 24 with a low of a chilling 13 degrees. The weekend will be warming up a little bit with Saturday as our warmest day with a high of 40 and a 94% chance of rain. The rest of the week will be very cold with temperatures ranging between 12 and 20 degrees with scattered snowstorms. Keep your gloves and hats on because it looks like the cold weather will be sticking around.
If you love trains, it looks like Western Pennsylvania just got a little sadder. Kennywood, the amusement park, is saying goodbye to its Thomastown after housing the attraction since 2018. This section of the park was home to rides and structured based on the beloved series Thomas and Friends, which told the story of everyone's favorite train, Thomas the Tank Engine. This attraction featured 5 rides and was at the time the second largest permanent Thomas and Friends attraction in North America. Upon announcing Thomastown's removal, Kennywood stated, quote, "We are thankful for the collaboration with the Thomas and Friends brand and Mattel and looking forward to future opportunities for collaboration," end quote. Fortunately, Kennywood has reported there is a new attraction that will take the place of Thomastown this year with 5 new rides for younger parkgoers and their families. This new attraction has yet to be announced, however.
The Pittsburgh Steelers played an impressive season this year, but ultimately weren't able to keep it going and have just ended their run. This past Saturday, the Pittsburgh Steelers went up against Maryland's Baltimore Ravens in their hometown, ultimately losing to them again in the wild card round. During this game, Baltimore was able to rush almost 300 yards, the most any team had ever seen since the NFL's postseason in 2013. At halftime, the game had already been in Baltimore's favor, with the team taking the lead with a score of 21-0. By the end of the game, the favor had not shifted in towards Pittsburgh's, with the Ravens taking the lead in the final score of 28-14. With the Steelers now out of the running for the Super Bowl, their postseason stats conclude with a win-to-loss ratio of 10-7.
Yeah, so looking a little bit sadder for both just Western Pennsylvania in general and any Steelers fans anywhere.
Yeah.
It seems like we lost a lot recently.
We have lost a lot.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, just getting all of the snow that we've been having.
Yes,
which
we lost the sunshine.
We lost the sunshine.
We lost the sunshine.
It gets dark at like 4 p.m. now.
Yes.
Really
yes.
not.
I just want to take a nap at 5 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to miss Thomastown, even though, like, I mean, obviously it wasn't like I was the demographic necessarily. I remember when it was coming out, and at the time, my younger cousin was obsessed with Thomas, so it was like the biggest thing. It was like, oh my gosh, you know? And having it so local, too, I feel is so uncommon, but we'll miss it. And I hope whatever they have going soon will be just as good, if not
Hopefully,
better.
yes.
Oh yeah. And did any of you guys happen to watch the game? I know, like, this is, like, they haven't made it this far in, like, I think a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I caught, like, bits and pieces.
I wish I had it.
Caught bits and pieces. Yeah, it was, I know this was their second time playing. You know, the first time they ultimately did not win again.
Yes.
I'm not, like, a super big sports fan, but I thought that this was, like, pretty big. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, that and the Penguins game we just lost.
Yes.
Really not looking good
No,
for Pittsburgh sports.
It is not.
But let's see what we've got the rest of the night.
Yeah. A sold-out gala encouraged people to dress up, have fun, and raise money for kids in need this past Saturday night. The 412 Give Back Gala Mad Hatter Affair sold out in just 5 hours. The event was the second annual gala put on by 412 Gives Back. This is a volunteer-based nonprofit that shines a light on local charities. All the money raised in this year's gala goes to Make-A-Wish kids in the greater Pittsburgh area. This year's fundraising goal is $100,000, but organizers say they have far exceeded that number. They raised $165,000, with $44,000 coming from the auction. After this event ends, they start planning next year's event. Tickets go on sale to the general public in October.
Spider-Man lovers, it looks like the third time's the charm. Our third set of MJ and Peter Parker, played by Zendaya and Tom Holland, are engaged. The actors confirmed their relationship back in 2021, and now Holland proposed to Zendaya over the holidays. The actress debuted her ring at the 2025 Golden Globes on January 5th, and the pop culture girlies have been in a frenzy since. Zendaya's family reportedly called Holland a, quote, class act, and is thrilled from the engagement. Similar to the rest of their relationship, the proposal was not public and instead occurred in a more intimate setting at one of Zendaya's family homes. While there is no word of when the two will get married, it's worthy of a celebration by all Zendaya shippers.
Now that is just too cute, especially since like just following them in the movie, like that's also like how they met each other too, like when they were playing these
so
lovers,
sweet.
and yeah, it's just so cute.
It's one of those, like, they're one of those couples that makes you believe in love.
Yes.
I know, like, Hollywood and everything, so many things are fake, but they just, maybe it's just like my personal opinion, they feel so real, and I really appreciate that, and I love both of them, like, separately as actors, performers, just so incredibly talented.
Yeah, and like you can just tell it's so genuine, and like it's been like that for a while, and you can tell they tried to hide it, but then like when they were caught in like 2021, and then to like making it public and to where they are now, it's just beautiful to see how they have like gotten
Such an
there.
evolution.
Yes,
Such an
yes.
evolution.
And Becca, you had good news as well with your
Yes.
story, too.
I looked at some of the pictures and everything. It looks like a fun time. Like being able to wear like heart earrings and stuff would be so fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they raised so much money.
A lot
what,
of
like
money.
$160,000.
Yes, a lot of
like
money.
that's very
Yes,
impressive.
it is. Yes. Wish I could have gotten tickets.
Yeah, me too. Are you an artist? Would you like to get the chance to get your own star on Pittsburgh's Walk of Fame? Well, then you're in luck. Executive Director of the nonprofit and project founder Nancy Polinsky Johnson opened up about how the project is open for nominations. In an interview, Johnson said, quote, "It's been amazing and heartwarming to see the number of people that have been nominated," end quote. The installation, which has been 12 years in the making, is now accepting nominations and will include 10 honorees to be announced in the spring, with the voting committee including about 200 people from the 10-county region of Pittsburgh. For those interested, there are only two requirements. One you should be aware of is that one, you must be born in or have spent most of your creative years in one of the 10 counties in Pittsburgh's region, and two, you must have had a national impact on the nation's culture through your work. Nominations can be emailed to nominate@pittsburghwalkoffame.org or to the official P.O. box of the Pittsburgh Walk of Fame.
Speaking of Walk of Fames, Pittsburgh playwright August Wilson was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame last week, 20 years after his death. Denzel Washington and the cast and filmmakers of The Piano Lesson were at the dedication along with Wilson's widow, Costanza Romero Wilson, who accepted the star on her husband's behalf. Wilson created the 10-play American Century Cycle, which documented the experience of Black Americans in each decade of the 20th century. Pittsburgh and the Hill District served as the setting for all but one. Wilson's star is the 2,799th on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It is located at 1611 Greenvine Street.
Oh my goodness, so exciting. Like Pittsburgh, I love hearing about Pittsburgh fame because I think we're kind of an underrated town in a lot of regards,
Yes.
but there's so many people like from Pittsburgh and just so much culture and like richness to
Yes.
Pittsburgh
There
as
very
well.
much is,
And like
yes.
anyone who's from here can tell you all about it.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm so happy that like they're making like some way to like commemorate like we have in Hollywood, like that Walk of Fame, and then them bringing it here. It's just like cute because then we can honor like the Pittsburgh people like that have really helped like grow just with like the culture here. And yeah, it's also awesome too that they're like allowing the people to make the decisions for these nominations. They're from Pittsburgh, so you're getting the Pittsburgh's advice. You're letting true like Pittsburghers make this decision, which who should ultimately have the opinion or say so because they're the ones that are experiencing this culture or touch that these artists are giving.
Yes.
Well, we're going to go for a quick break, but when we get back, we'll politismack this week's political news with reporter Ethan Rowinski. Stick with us.
Welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Ethan Rowinski. Former and future President Donald Trump has been officially convicted in his New York hush money trial this past Friday. Sitting next to his lawyer on a Zoom call, Trump listened to Judge Juan Merchan sentence him to an unconditional discharge. This means that Trump will receive no fines, prison time, or any other penalty outside of a few gun restrictions now in place from his now official status as a convicted felon. After numerous attempts from Trump's lawyers to stop the sentencing, including a Supreme Court ruling that ended in a 5-4 split, the sentencing comes after a highly publicized trial that found Trump guilty of delivering hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels in an attempt to promote himself in the 2016 election. Merchan described the sentencing as the only lawful sentence he could hand out in light of the Supreme Court decision last year that gives the president, quote, absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions within his conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority, end quote, according to the Supreme Court debrief. Merchan also noted how these protections come from Trump's holding of the office of the president, and that he may note that, quote, Donald Trump, the ordinary citizen, Donald Trump, the criminal defendant, would not be entitled to such considerable protections, end quote. While an unconditional discharge is somewhat common for low-level cases, they are exceedingly rare in felony cases. This likely marks the end of Trump's legal troubles, as both his Florida case, classified documents case, and Jack Smith's election interference case were dismissed, and his Fulton County election interference case was put on pause due to a relationship between the district attorney and the Georgia special prosecutor. With Trump's inauguration just days away, he's putting his legal troubles behind him and going full steam ahead with his future policies.
Now, I don't really know much about Trump, but does he actually have any firearms, or has he specifically said that he owns any firearms?
So, not fully. I mean, he's
Okay.
talked about in his campaigns how he's very pro Second Amendment, how he's very for, gun rights, but he himself is not a big, gun owner himself.
Because I was just trying to figure out, since that's pretty much the
Yeah.
extent of where his punishment goes, I was just trying to see how much it's going to affect him.
I mean, in his personal day-to-day life, not really. I mean, like I was saying, there's no fines, there's no prison time, so he's really able to do whatever he wants. This conviction mainly just now makes him an official convicted felon at this point. So now he's going to walk around for the rest of his life as a convicted felon. He's not just going to go around saying, oh, maybe it'll be overturned after the Supreme Court, him begging them pretty much to overturn. He went to Congress as well, to try and just overturn that ruling as much as possible.
Now, was there a reason that he was specifically over Zoom during this meeting?
Not to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure it was more so just the fact that he couldn't be there with everything related to his inauguration. And it's very interesting that for most of his trial, because it's because of the way the court's set up, there was no video recordings allowed for this. But For the sentencing, however, New York state law does allow audio recordings of the whole case. So the entire time there is audio recording of Trump making his statement, considering how the whole trial was a sham and that he was targeted by the Biden administration, which is not true. The state courts are not directed by any of the federal attorneys whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So it was a very interesting trial and a very plain ending to all of Trump's legal troubles. Now he's pretty much able to just go ahead to day one policies and enact or do his best to enact everything he's trying to do. Though the very slim majority in the House, we'll see how that actually turns out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, thank you, Ethan. Don't go anywhere, Daybreak. When we get back from the break, we'll ring in the new year with some questions from you, our lovely viewers. We'll be right back.
Ring, ring, ring. It's time for Daybreak Hotline.
With the start of the new year, it's a great time to reflect on 2024 and our hopes for 2025.
We received some questions from our viewers that we are going to discuss right here. So first question, what was your favorite part about break?
I feel like it's a basic answer, but I do love to get to see my family, even though, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, so much, because I have a big family personally, so it can be a lot, but it was very nice and relaxing, but also just break is my big catch-up time with shows or even seeing movies in theaters because I finally have time to do so, so I loved doing that.
I also, I love spending time with family, that's obvious. But I'm also the person that goes on the grinds during break. I work. I tried to work as much as possible. I wanted, well, just with the holidays, I wanted to make sure I could get people the best gifts possible.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of big ideas for gifts and stuff like that. And so I grinded out most through the summer, or not through the summer, through through winter break. But it was nice too, just to spend time with family and catch up with friends from my hometown.
Other than spending time with family, I crocheted a lot. I made myself a little ear warmer, and it was so nice being home. It was so cold.
I love getting to catch up on crafts too.
It's so fun.
Yes.
I forget when I'm at school, I have absolutely no time for any of it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, but let's see what our next question is. So where is home for everyone? I know for myself, I'm from the Pittsburgh area. I technically am from Washington, which is 30 minutes southwest. So I don't go too far to go home.
Yeah.
I'm from Berlin, Pennsylvania. It's an hour and a half from here. If you know Snyder Berlin chips, that's made in my hometown.
Oh.
Fun enough, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm also from the Pittsburgh region. I'm from Westmoreland County, so Bell Vernon area, Ross Shaver. But fun fact, I was born in Arkansas.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, I wasn't
I
born
forgive
in
you.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Oh, so we're all Pittsburghers.
Yes, we are. I grew up here though.
Technically.
I've been here since before I was even double digits. So.
Our
what
next question is, what were you most excited to gift or receive as a gift. So little thing, I don't like really getting gifts. I like giving them. I got my brother and sister-in-law a little lamb that weighs as much as my niece did when she was born.
Oh.
With her name on it. Yeah, it was really cute.
That's so sweet.
Yes.
I got my girlfriend, I got her she doesn't like diamonds or anything like that. Her favorite like gem or like stone is morganite. And so she also doesn't like gold jewelry, so this is like pretty hard to find. So I tried to find, it's like this pinkish kind of stone. And I found this morganite like bracelet, and because she has a lot of like rings and necklaces, and so I tried to give her something that she doesn't have. And I also like didn't want it to be gold, so I got like this rose gold silver. But yeah, no, that was my favorite gift.
Oh,
That's
so
really
sweet. I am gonna say one that I got because all of the ones I gave, I completely forget. Like after Christmas, I swear it's like.
No, I get that.
Yes.
But the one thing that's popping in my brain, it was so random, but Santa got me a One Direction singing toothbrush. So
awesome.
and
Oh my
I
gosh.
never had one when I was younger. So it sings "Live While We're Young." So
Oh my
Better time
gosh.
than now to get it.
That
though,
is
like,
awesome.
yeah, best thing ever.
All right, and then our final question: do you have any New Year's resolutions? If so, what are they? I know personally, I really don't. I don't know. I just try to like better myself in any way. I don't necessarily say like a new me, I guess. I don't know. I just yeah.
Yeah.
I think for myself, it wasn't super specific, but just in a lot of things to not take everything so seriously, because I find myself worrying about a lot, whether it be like schoolwork or like outside of school, just anything like life in general. And I feel like if I don't take it as seriously and I just kind of let things happen or just go and do things when, you know, it may be scary or whatever, I think it'll benefit me in the future. So that's kind of the theme of going into 2025 for me.
I like that. I have a very like dead set one. I want to get an internship with an NFL team.
Oh.
That's my 2025 goal. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that.
Something a little different.
Yeah.
That brings us to an end of another episode of Daybreak.
If you want to see more, you can catch our previous episodes on our YouTube channel, YouView Television, or follow our Instagram at Daybreak PPU.
From all of us at Daybreak, thank you for watching. I'm Becca.
I'm Robert.
And I'm Sav. We'll see you next week.